Hey, Dr. Mike here. Is every type of chocolate healthy? Stay tuned to find out.
You're listening to Live Foreverish, a show dedicated to helping you live just a little longer. Here's your hosts, Dr. Mike and Dr. Crystal Gossard.
All right, welcome to Live Foreverish. Dr. Crystal, the Maya considered a drink from the chocolate to be the food of the gods.
Oh, yes, I believe it.
Gosh, it's so good.
Heaven sent.
Hey, you know the saying that money doesn't grow out of trees? It used to, because they traded cocoa beans.
That's
true. They wanted these things.
I forgot about that.
Wonderful chocolate is. We're really going to be focusing on, my teaser was, are all different types of chocolate healthy? I think most people nowadays are familiar with the fact that dark chocolate is the way to go for the most healthy, right? I think most people probably know that.
But, it is a seed.
It is.
And I say, eat your nuts and seeds.
I know. And so we'll get into that a little bit because there's different types, right?
That's true.
So we'll get into that a little bit. Let's just talk real quick. So forget the different types, right? What is chocolate? Because when we think of chocolate, that's the end product of a process.
Right. It's the end product. It's the seed of the cacao fruit. And the cacao fruit, it reminds me of a football.
You brought it in once.
Well, I did. Oh, I forgot about that. I didn't buy in the full fruit, but I did. When you open the fruit, you have these pods, and inside of the pods, that's the seed, and that's where we make the chocolate. But around that seed is fruit, and you can buy the dried cacao fruit, and it tastes, it's almost like a prune. It reminds me of a prune.
I thought we ate some.
We did.
Yeah.
I brought in a package of it, which makes me so happy because it's usually not consumed. It's a part of the bigger fruit that I feel like we just waste it. So it's nice to be able to use the fruit holistically.
Yeah, I know. I like the end chocolate better. See, it was okay. So tell us a little bit then. So the cacao seed, I mean, ultimately, this is what's going to become like cocoa powder,
right?
Which then can become all different types of chocolate, right?
So the seed from that fruit is fermented, dried, cleaned, roasted, shelled. And then you get kind of this nib. And the nibs, you can find the nibs in the store.
You can eat those.
You can eat those nibs. I think we have some in the in our storage unit.
We do?
We do, right in there.
From like 5 years ago?
And then those nibs are
turkey?
ground. You take the nibs and you grind them, and it turns into what they call a liquor. But it's just basically like
it's a liquor. It's the way it flows. It's right?
Yes.
It's not, that mean there's ethanol in it.
No, it just becomes more of a liquid.
Yeah.
And because there are lots of fats.
Oysters have a liquor. Okay.
Exactly. And that liqueur can be used as is or separated. So if you use it as is, then, you can then add your milk or your sugar and make your chocolate. Or it can be separated where you have your cocoa solids and the cocoa butter. You kind of separate the butter out, and that's where your cocoa butter comes from.
Okay.
Right?
But now,
and that's where your white chocolate is coming from, the cocoa butter piece.
So if I take the nibs, crush them up, and don't add anything, that's 100% dark chocolate.
Yes, and it will be very bitter.
Yeah.
And kind of astringent. So it's nice.
I like 90%.
Yeah, I do too.
That's 10% added sugar. Not so bad, because there's fiber in there too that helps to offset that net sugar.
Well,
right?
it's a seed. You get your fiber, you get your polyphenols. I'm kind of jumping ahead, but it's also fermented. So when we think about fermented foods and how it's good for your gut and everything, they typically think of like the vinegar fermented things.
Chocolate is fermented.
Kimchi, sauerkraut.
Now, I didn't know this. Industry defines dark chocolate as simply 55% or more. So 55%, though, that's getting close to half sugar.
Well, yes.
So I don't know if what do you consider as a nutritionist to then really be dark?
Personally, 80. I like an 80
or
85,
higher.
Yes.
80, 85, 90, even if you
because you can still kind of satisfy your little sweet tooth, but you're not getting lots of sugar because, again, the higher percentage your chocolate, that's more of that pure chocolate. The lower the percentage, you're getting more milk, more sugar.
Yeah. And then milk chocolate is basically they're
Yeah.
adding milk to it. It's,
Yes.
it's the nib, the sugar, and they're adding, I
Right.
think it has to be at least 12% or more milk.
Yeah.
That's more. And then, as you said, white chocolate is simply the cocoa butter part with milk and sugar, right? So and that cocoa butter, though, that's not the seed anymore.
Well, it's the fat from the seed.
It's the fat from the seed, but a lot of the nutrients from the seed now though are not there.
Yeah, those polyphenols and it's not there. Yeah.
So white
you're
chocolate,
getting saturated fat.
Yeah, so that's why we talk mostly about dark chocolate, because that's where a lot of the research is for benefits to your heart and other things. It's not the white chocolate.
Right.
Yeah. But people like the white chocolate.
Very true.
Yeah, very true. So what are the what are we getting? So like if as a nutritionist, if I said, Dr. Crystal, what are you give me your 3 best reasons I should eat 85% dark chocolate once in a while.
Antioxidant. Those cocoa polyphenols can have an anti-inflammatory effect. They fight free radicals. So hands down, that's going to be my number one, I would say, health benefits.
Huge, right? Yeah.
Yes, the one of the richest sources of antioxidants outside of, I would say, coffee.
Coffee's high too. Oh yeah,
coffee's high too.
How about some coffee and dark chocolate?
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
I also like the dark chocolate or cocoa powder, and I don't think it's on here for blood flow.
Well, that was one of the. I know that was kind of my introduction to the chocolate polyphenols. Right? It had to do with. I can't remember if it was directly related to nitric oxide or something, but it was more about blood flow, increasing blood flow throughout the body, just making flow better at the end of the day. And so that's where then it sprang into this cardiovascular research and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. But we also have research. Did you ask me top 2 or 3?
3. So that was
3.
1.
And then so I said antioxidant, blood flow, and anti-inflammatory.
Yeah, for sure.
Those are my top 3.
It says here compounds in cocoa lower the activity of transcription factor, nuclear factor kappa beta. It's NF kappa beta. It's a powerful pro-inflammatory compound, and dark chocolate is going to calm it down.
Yep. Now some others that we
there's
have.
A whole bunch.
A whole lot. Yeah, supporting healthy lipid levels. That potentially LDL cholesterol and total cholesterol. There was a meta-analysis of 10 short-term clinical trials with 320 participants show that it can be helpful for lipids.
Yeah. People might be surprised to know it can also support insulin sensitivity and healthy blood glucose.
Well, I'll tell you, if you are having the sweet tooth and you choose a dark chocolate, it's definitely, now you're not going for the ultra processed pastries, the cakes. It can kind of help you. It's a healthier substitution.
Yes.
I would say that.
It's a way. We did a show on this. Remember we talked about how to substitute better snacking? And one of our things was if you got a sweet tooth, drop the Mars bar and go with, some dark chocolate. And here's the thing. Here's what you should expect. It can help your sugar craving for sure and stuff. It's not going to be as sweet and whatever as that pastry, but it still could help to crave that sugar craving, and it's so much better for you.
Yeah, and I think that's one mechanism. It's a healthy substitute, but we do see direct impacts.
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. There's a bunch here.
Right. Improving insulin resistance, insulin sensitivity, meaning the sugar is being recognized by your cells. Your glucose is getting out of the bloodstream and into your cell, which can bring, support healthy glucose levels.
Support healthy cognitive function. It could be have a prebiotic effect, and maybe eat well. Of course, it's really good for your mood.
Yes.
And that's actually, that's good. It makes sense. They've said it for years that chocolate lovers just have a better overall life view or something. I don't know.
Oh. Well, yes. I mean, it's a little bit of a stimulant, has a little caffeine. I just love it. Just to review really quickly again, the milk chocolate, you're not getting a lot of the actual cacao. It's dark chocolate.
Yeah. Milk chocolate is 45%. No, that was the 55% dark chocolate.
Right.
Yeah.
So we want the dark chocolate. There will be no milk. So the dark chocolate is just the nibs and the sugar.
Yeah. The milk is replacing some of that dark chocolate, good polyphenols and all that kind of stuff. So really, dark chocolate's the way to go. 80% or higher. Something like that. Yeah. Start at 80. See if you like 85. Try 90. See what you like. I don't mind the bitterness that much. 90s is pretty good to me. I don't mind it. What you're giving me? People can't see your look that you're giving me.
I know. I'm giving him this look like, I don't know. You have to work your way up to a 90.
I said I didn't say everyone.
Okay.
See that, Robson?
I just want our listeners to know. I don't want them to run out by the 90. You're like, what was Dr. Mike talking about?
Okay, fine. That's what I said. Start at 80. Work it up. 90's pretty good.
Okay.
All right. Let's go into some common questions. This is a big one. Is dark chocolate vegan?
You better check.
No, that's okay.
You better look for vegan on the label. Well, okay, so you could assume dark chocolate is vegan.
You can assume that.
And assume milk chocolate is not.
But you just gotta read, because sometimes you can get the dark chocolate, but then they start adding fillings in there, caramel fillings, and that may not make it vegan anymore. So, but a pure 80% dark chocolate is vegan.
Should be.
Should be. Check. Okay. Is 100% dark chocolate the healthiest?
Hands down, yes.
You just can't eat it.
You're just your mouth will be dry, and you'll try to find some way to create some saliva in your mouth, because it will just dry you out.
Just go try some pure cocoa. Put it in your mouth. See what you want to do with it. You're gonna spit it out in your nose, your mouth, your ears, and everything.
But I'll tell you this, though, it's great in a shake. If you're making a protein
you're
shake
gonna have
and
to
you
mix it with something. Absolutely, 100%. So 100% dark chocolate bar. I wouldn't do that. Last one here. Does chocolate have a downside, Dr. Crystal? It's hard to answer because it depends on what you're talking about, right? I mean,
yes. Now, I don't want to overthink it. Like, how is it produced? Are there any?
Well, let me tell you this.
Anything we wouldn't want?
Well, let me ask you this. Well, so my 90%, right? I think you break it off into little. They score it, so you can break it off into. I think one serving is 3 pieces, and it's. The only downside I see is it's like 180 calories or something.
I would say the downside, personally, is making sure you find a product that's fair trade. I'm going to the social issues.
Oh, that's a good point.
Maybe that's fair trade. Maybe organic.
I know, I like that.
But because there are. It's a political thing.
It's
sometimes
kind of the same with
one
coffee.
Of those, right?
You want that fair,
You want to make sure those farmers, the small farmers, where this is their livelihood, that they're not being taken advantage of.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. But I for me personally too, that's the only thing that makes me is the calories. But I don't always eat 3. Sometimes I'll just have 1.
I mean, if it's a good dark chocolate, you don't need 3.
Yeah, one is
will
often,
do the trick.
1 is great. So there you go. Some great information about chocolate, dark, milk, white. Hopefully that was helpful. At the end of the day, I asked, are all chocolates healthy? Well, the truth is, no. I'm going to say it. White chocolate is.
It's not.
It's not. I don't know. Let's just leave it alone.
I was going to say it's not real chocolate, but technically it comes from the cacao tree. So
dark chocolate is where the research is at, and that's what we want to present.
Absolutely,
100%. So get some dark chocolate. Go for that 90% right off the bat. See what you think, and let Dr. Crystal know. Don't forget, you can go to liveforeverish.com. And when you're there, tons of other episodes to download, like, share, and subscribe so you never miss a show. We really appreciate stars and rankings now and shares. Yeah. Go for it. You're right there. It's right on your phone. Bloop. 4-star, 5-star. Right? Yes. Or whatever you think we deserve. You know?
I know. A fair, honest assessment is nice. Yeah. And then tell us who you are, your questions, where you're from. We'll give you a shout out on the show.
And then you can go to lifeextension.com, our sponsor, and you can see it right there if you're watching on YouTube. If you go to their site, you can use the discount code
podcast,
and you're going to get 10% off, $50 or more, plus free shipping and handling. That's over at lifeextension.com. And by the way, here's even something simpler. Mm-hmm. Go to lifeextension.com/education.
Yes.
That's where Dr. Crystal and myself, we have all our stuff there. Blogs, video, it's all there. Great place just to play around. And then, if you want, add things to your cart and use the discount code podcast.
Love that, Dr. Mike.
That's at lifeextension.com. Great show. Thank you, Dr. Crystal. I thought this was great.
Chocolate.
So that's liveforeverish.com, lifeextension.com. I'm Dr. Mike. That's
Dr. Crystal.
Thanks for listening.